Guten Morgen, Internet. We're going to paint today. I got to finish up this piece over here. Wait, if you're new to my channel, I'm an American living in Germany. I'm disabled and I paint a lot. And right now I'm working on getting a few pieces done for my first art show, which will be in August. The entire month of August, my art will be hanging in a bar called Hermges Treff on Hofstraße in Mönchengladbach. And on August 30th, we'll do a meet and greet. But I'm also, besides hanging some of my art in this bar, I'm also finishing up a few pieces to be hung in the bar itself, like permanently. I painted some things on the outside of this bar, just like advertisement for his beer and the prices. This piece here, this piece of wood, this is going to go in the entrance of his bar. It'll go right when you walk in, before you get into the bar, but it'll be viewable from the street. So I'll have literally 3 pieces of my art viewable to the street at a 3-way intersection in the center of Mönchengladbach. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people will drive by every day and see it. So I'm pretty happy about that. And today the plan is I gotta finish this. I'm happy with what I got laid out, so I gotta work on just the details, and go over a couple things, just another coat to make the colors really pop again. So details and just, finishing details and filling in that background a little bit better, making that black a little more solid, making the red a little bit more solid. And then I'm waiting for the owner of the bar to contact me, and we're going to carry that down to the bar and hopefully hang it today. And I think I'm going to spend a few hours today at that bar painting. As I was at that bar painting on the outside, right? As I was out there painting on the outside of that bar, every time the regulars came out to smoke, they got in some nice little chit chat with me. I really enjoyed it. And a couple of them, like, they just started asking me if I could do stuff. Like, could you paint on a dice cup? A cup, I guess, for shaking dice before you roll them out. I guess for gambling or a game, or I'm really out of touch with playing games. Another one wanted me to paint a sign for his little drinking area at home. Stammtisch is a German word if you're not German and you don't speak German. Generally, when you go into a bar, and this is like something since the Middle Ages, there'll be one table that'll have this sign hanging above it saying Stammtisch. That's the table of the regulars. And the regulars of that bar meet there regularly, and that is their table, and you better not be sitting in it when they come in to drink. It's just how it is. And the one dude said he's got this nice little spot in his garden where him and his buddies sit and drink. And he wanted a Stammtisch sign hanging above it. I was like, I can do that. So that's my plan today. I'm going to finish this up on the live stream, probably until the owner of the bar writes me and says he's going to come and help me carry it with him down to the bar, because I don't think I can carry this alone. It's like flexible, like it's big. It's not that heavy, but it's got some weight to it. And it's the fact of how long it is. And I have vertigo. Like, I just try to walk down the street. I trip over my feet quite often, right? And I thought, it's probably not a good idea if I try to carry this on my own. I'm going to end up hitting a car or knocking someone's German grandmother over. And I don't want to do that. So we're going to paint until he lets me know when we can carry that down. And then, I'll take it down to the bar, hang it up on the wall. Hopefully he'll have gotten a clear lock, a clear coat I can spray on it. And then I plan on spending just a few hours in the bar. I haven't done that in years. Gonna go spend a few hours in the bar and paint some things. Gonna paint some stuff for some other people, maybe on the walls. Got lots of ideas. Ooh, I already have comments, and 4 people are here. I appreciate every last one of you. I really do. Let me check the comments here. Hi, T-Cat. How you doing? Patty the Fly. Hi, Armstrong. Glückwunsch zur Möglichkeit des Ausstellungs. Freut mich für dich. Patty, vielen, vielen Dank. Patty, ich muss sagen, ich habe deine Kunst gesehen am Instagram. Sehr beeindruckend. Finde ich sehr toll. Wann machst du eine Kunstausstellung? Echt? I'm excited about my first art show too. If you don't know, if you're new here or you don't know me or you're just some random stalker, somewhere around like last winter, I made it a goal that by summer, where we are now, I would have at least planned my first art show. I've been painting for a really long time. People always say, do something with your art. So I'm gonna do something with my art. And yeah, today, once we get this done and I get it delivered down to the place, I suspect the next few weeks I'm gonna be doing more live streaming. And I wanna do more, not at this hour. I wanna try to do a few in the very near future towards the evening hour in German time. I wanna try to suck in some of the people from America, some of my friends and family in America. Theodore Ellerby's here. Hi, your friend from Kaiserslautern. Theodore Ellerby, I am always happy to see your smiling face. Seriously, you have one of the most beautiful smiles on the internet. You really do. Nice. 5 viewers, people chatting. I'm proud of you guys. And yes, I'm still in my pajamas. And yes, this is a shirt from when I was 15 years old. Still fit in it. All right. So, lady, you need to get done. I feel like this is, I'm going to bump into this. I got to move this. You should see my knees. My knees are covered in bruises. I hit this damn coffee table at least, every day, at least several times a day. So I'll put my easel over. That's not a good idea either. I should have done this before I put the camera on, right? I was also thinking, when I do these live streams, I should come up with some kind of like a theme. Like I was toying with, should I tell stories? I got a lot of stories from when I traveled and shit like that. Politics, I don't know. I might do that. Got any opinions? I think maybe while I paint, I tell some stories. Patty says, ich werde mich da erst drum bemühen, wenn ich mich auf einen Stil eingependelt habe. Da springe ich noch zu der hin und her, also ich habe ein bisschen vom Body von Auslandszone. Du, Patty, ich auch. Patty, ich verstehe, man. Ich hab für immer für mich bemalt. My painting was always just for me. I enjoy it. It's good for me. I think it's healing. It's like a meditation. And especially since becoming disabled, it's nice that I can like do something and finish something. Because often I attempt to do stuff and I feel nauseous and dizzy. I try to do stuff and I'm in pain. My legs hurt because I've been trying to balance myself. And painting really saved me mentally, like in that way, that I can sit, I can do it. And with my dizzy issues and everything I have since having a stupid brain tumor, I can still paint. And yeah, what I'm saying is, Patty, I understand what you're saying there. I have a mishmash of things. And yeah, I think my art show is going to also be a mishmash of things. I am a mishmash of things. I toyed with the idea of going with like a theme, especially when I was looking at doing this at the local Catholic church. There's a beautiful Catholic church here in town that shows art often. And I went and talked to them and they said, yeah, there'd be a possibility, but we're booked for this whole next year. Maybe we could squeeze you in. Long story short, the more I thought about it, I personally didn't want me personally telling people to go into this organization. I don't really agree with. But when I was considering doing that, I thought, like I paint I like to paint Jesus, right? Like I painted like a lot of religious art. I got an angel, and I thought I could go in that direction, but I'm not feeling that. That's not who I am. You know, I paint a mishmash of stuff. So a mishmash of stuff I will show. Oh, Theodore Ellaby, thank you very much. T-Cat, is that the same green man from before? Oh yeah, the green man. I made so much progress. I'm so happy with him. I'd say it's about 95% fair take, not 95% finished. I just this morning started adding a wine glass here down in the middle. But yeah, I started the last live stream. I had this idea. I ended up on a documentary, the story behind the threshold deity, the green man. And I went down that little rabbit hole and I thought, I want to paint one of them. Honestly, I kind of want to hang this up above my door. That's what the green man's for. The green man, ancient pagan deity, is meant to be hanging above a threshold, an entrance to a room, to a house. But I think he might end up at my art show. He's cute. I really like him. I'm glad you like him too. Thank you. Thank you, T-Cat. Thank you very much. I was fascinated with him. Like when I moved to Germany, once you know about him and once you see him, if you happen to be in an area in Europe around old buildings, you'll see him everywhere. You'll see him everywhere. The green man is fascinating in so many different cultures, possibly goes all the way back to ISIS. But I went in the direction of Bacchus. Bacchus. What is he, like the Bavarian god of wine? Man, I miss music. It's so strange sitting here without music on. So, who's been watching the news, right? Who's been watching the news? How y'all feeling about watching the news these days? Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Since I don't have to concentrate on details too much, I'm going to do a lot of filling in. I can try to chit-chat a little bit. So this morning, I see on the news, America pretty much said that if the international court ever tries to come after American government officials or American military for their war crimes, which they commit all the time, what they said, you know what these guys said? They're going to react to any means necessary. They just made a threat to Europe. Out of fucking control. And there's still people that are like, America's cool. I want to go to America. What, you got a death wish? I think the world has let them get away with too much for too damn long, honestly. Fucking frightening. She's so cute. I need a lot of black. And let's just do the strip at the bottom. Is my camera on the strip at the bottom? Big brush. Probably gonna make a bit of a mess here. I have to limit how much news I watch. Seriously, people, I put on the damn news. It's panic attacks, it's anxiety. Bitte mal still, bist du doch recht konsistent. Thanks, Stepani. Danke. Okay. Alright, let's fill in some black down here. Yeah, it's, you know, what's really crazy, moved to Germany in 2001, right? And in 2001, I knew it was bad. I knew it just all bad. This country I was on, what it stood for, what it was doing in the world, how it treated its citizens. I knew in 2001, all bad. And it's been getting progressively worse. It's like, when I think it can't get worse, it gets worse. It just gets worse. Can't degrade. decide to what degree the U.S. has changed or if I'm just more aware of the problems. TCAT, that is a very, very true statement. Seriously. Because if we're talking about genocide, war, invasion, imperialism, they've been doing it since the fucking beginning. Still are, never stopped. Never stopped. Never stopped. Slavery didn't end it. Look up for-profit prisons, which, by the way, the country I live in, Germany, that's illegal. It's illegal for them to have it. They recognize that's against human rights. But in America, it's just normal to put people in cages and have them work for a few cents for giant corporations with CEOs that are billionaires. That's normal. Modern day slavery. They never got held responsible for it. This is the problem, folks. You know? One African so-called dictator by the West does anything, the West will be so quick to call them out, label them a dictator, talk about how they mistreat their people or starving. Why don't people do this about the country that bombs the most in the world, does the most world? Do you know how many times they bombed Somalia this year? Did you even know that America has bombed Somalia? I want to say it's between 20 and 40 times. I can't remember the number. You can Google it. But why? Why? Terror. And really frustrating. It's just how many Americans, it's like, on one side, a lot of Americans seem to be waking up, right? They seem to be waking up, but it's like they only wake up so far. They only wake up so far. Like, I follow some leftist meme type things on Instagram, and they're posting about like injustices in the world. And then they quote Thomas Jefferson. A guy that owned and raped child slaves and said we need to kill the savages. You never learn. You never learn. Look, I don't know. This might sound a little crazy, but I don't know if you all believe in curses, but I think they're cursed. And I think they're rightfully cursed. I want to say that. Rightfully cursed. Rightfully cursed. And until they stand up and not just apologize, reparations, land black, for all the slavery, the genocide, all of the crimes against humanity, more than a century America's been bombing the Middle East. These are the good guys? For more than a century. Biden was not even a month in office, and he dropped off bombs in the Middle East in the name of defending American interests. Why you got interests in the Middle East, America? Don't you got nothing to do at home? I heard Detroit doesn't have clean drinking water. But now, America has their own military on their own people. Are you seeing this shit? They have the Marines, of all the military, they have the Marines, for example, in Los Angeles. And they are grabbing people off the streets. I like this. I'm very happy with this. So I think this black, it looks solid enough, but we'll see what it looks like once it dries. This wood absorbs everything. I'm just saying, the need of revolution, well, you know. I don't want to sound like a communist, but the Americans need to become class conscious. I'm fucking dizzy. God damn it. Up and down is not good. Let's check the chat. Ich habe immer das Gefühl, ein Großteil der USA hatte die Aufklärung verpasst. I always feel like a large part of the US missed the Enlightenment. Well, sure, but that's on purpose. Do you know what happens when you purposely undereducate people in the way of making good education and higher education only for people that can afford it, much like their health care? So then we have the next thing. Let's keep them undereducated and let's keep them unhealthy. Let's give them no vacation days and no access to a doctor. In fact, let's make going to a doctor a threat. They risk getting fired for it. They lose money because they have to pay for it. So once you do that to a society, they're a lot easier to convince to go to war. It's all planned and it's nothing new. Nothing that is going on right now is new. That is driving me crazy. But at least TCAT says, but at least the billionaires are getting their damn tax cuts. Yes, eat the rich. The robber barons only took a few years off. Beziehe mich immer als linksliberal, humanistisch Anarchistin. I always call myself a left liberal, humanist, anarchist. I mean, this shirt is from when I was 15. And people, like, they laughed when I said I'm an anarchist. But I can't think of one damn reason why I wouldn't be with my personal life experience and what I have seen in my lifetime, not just in the news, but in my personal experience. Things done by the government, things not done by the government when they should do it. I mean, I don't trust politicians. I have no reason to trust politicians. When they start giving me reasons to trust them, every single time I felt like, oh, that politician's interesting, I'm going to follow them. I swear to God, every time they break my goddamn heart. They break my damn heart. I feel like that we have to look at psychology, you know? They've studied this shit. If you want to meet a narcissist or a sociopath, go interview a CEO. Go interview a billionaire. There's no ethical way to become a billionaire. The people that go and try to achieve these goals of extreme wealth and these positions of extreme power often have personalities disorders that are not very nice to the rest of us. And that's what happens in politics, man. You get the people with this personality. They're the ones that want control and power over everybody. But like I want to plant free food. I want everyone to have a house. I want bombs to stop falling. But I sure as fuck don't want to be a politician. I don't want to be the boss. I don't want to be telling people what to do. I don't feel like it's my place to tell people what to do. I don't feel like it's the government's place to tell me what to do. I think I know what's best with my body. I think I know. God damn it, I'm being sloppy. No! I'll turn it into shading. Ha! Shadow. Bob Ross said, no mistakes, only happy accidents. You can work with everything. So I got a little sloppy here. I like to red anyway. Yep. That's all fine. What was I ranting about? The hell was I ranting about? People like us don't strive for power. Yeah, that's exactly what the narcissist bunch is. Yeah, narcissists, sociopaths, people that lack empathy. These seem to be the people that want to get in these positions of power. Like they crave it and they put the most energy into achieving it. I'll fix something here. Making mistakes because I'm ranting. Don't want to F up her face. I love her little face. I love her little face. Just needs a few little details. Smooth out that red. Oh, it's gonna take a lot of coats. Good thing this guy got me a gigantor tube of that red. Such a lovely color. Yeah, I don't want power. I don't strive for power over anybody. I had jobs where people tried to push me into like management type positions, said you'd be great at this. I just don't want it. Take a job, I want to go in, I want to concentrate on a project. I want to fulfill that project. I want to get it done. I don't want to be ruling over other people. I don't want to be the boss. I don't like when people are the boss of me. So why would I want to be the boss? I mean, except kids, you know. I was a nanny. I was a babysitter. I had jobs where I sold to kids. I dealt with kids a lot. They need bosses. They need guidance. But true power over a society, decisions that affect people's little lives. They make decisions. Can you imagine tomorrow you make a decision and the result is 1,000 dead kids in a Middle Eastern country? Like, you literally have to be a sociopath or have no empathy to be able to make those decisions. Am I wrong? Because otherwise, you'd go crazy. I would go crazy if I knew there was that much blood on my hands. Baerbock! I would not, my conscience would not be able to handle it. Still got a bit of a cough, excuse me there. Gotta go thicker and bolder with this red because that wood is just absorbing it. Yeah, so America is currently using its military on its own people and literally threatened if international courts try to go after them for any war crimes they've committed ever, they will respond by any means necessary. When do we realize, not China, not Russia, not Africa, not any little country with no power, North Korea, when are we going to realize that they're not the threat? I moved to Germany. I found it crazy, the amount of American military bases here. What did I know, right? And my ex-husband at the time looked at me like, you silly American, World War II. And I'm like, well, yeah, no, I understand how they got here, but why the hell are they still here? It's 2001. That shit was in the 40s, right? Like, are you guys still a threat? Like, why are they still literally occupying your land? Like, that could be social housing. Didn't understand it. Now I do. Then I had a conversation with a communist and paid a little more attention to the news. But it could start there. It could start there if the people of Europe started saying no. No more occupying our land. I understand their NATO agreements. They have NATO bases too. There's a NATO base not far from me. I think like less than a 20-minute drive from me if I head direction Belgium. There's a NATO base right there. So they're saying, well, the Americans need to be here because of NATO. Have your silly little NATO bases. I'll work on abolishing them at a later point. But let's start with America, you know? Why is there like there's the NATO base and there's like Fucking, you could just keep zooming up in Google Maps and the American army bases will be like, bink, 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 filled with weapons. I wish more people would stand up against it. I do. I really do. If I moved in next to you and I started filling my yard up with all kinds of weapons, explosive things that could kill people, would you be fine with it? Why are you fine with the Americans setting up military bases in your backyard, taking your land when you're lacking social housing, you got homeless on the street? Kick every American military base out of your country and turn it into social housing. That's what I say. Absolutely ridiculous. There is no reason they should be occupying land. Need to go the hell home. Clearly they're needed, you know? Flooding, missing people, homeless people. But instead of using them for good, they're using them on the streets of LA to hunt and kidnap people. That's sick. But let me point out the ridiculousness of that too, because I've been screaming this all over the internet and I feel like I'm screaming into the void. I gotta do that black. How am I gonna do that? Do I need my stool? They're like, how can the military do this? How can the military against their own people? Your military take an oath to uphold the Constitution. Your Constitution was written by literally, I am not exaggerating, slave-owning, religious extremists, genocidal, white supremacists who referred to native brown people as savages. This is exactly who you are, always have been. Always fucking have been. Probably losing monetization now because I'm getting angry. And I'm getting too sloppy here, damn it. Look at this shading. I went a little too wet. That's what she said. But yeah, I start yelling shit like this and people just look at me like I'm crazy. One or few people will say, oh yeah, you're right, I agree with you. But I don't hear anybody else calling for this. You know, I think I said in the last live stream, I also didn't understand when I moved here to Europe and started understanding how most of the Western society is in regards to workers' rights, healthcare, and stuff like that. Like one of the first things I thought was, and these leaders, they meet with America and they know like America is refusing to give these human rights to their people and nobody puts pressure on them. They just walk in and smile and shake their hand. I'm so happy to meet the American president. You just say to them, yo, bro, why don't you give your people health care? Why don't you stop healthcare that is only for profit, meaning you allow the poor to die because they're poor? No, put pressure on them. Nope. America's cool. America's an ally. It's happened to me a lot while I've been in Europe, where I meet people and they're like, America's cool. I don't trust you people anymore. I hope you know that. If you ever meet me and you tell me you think America is so cool, I'm going to go over there now. Not interested. Nothing cool. Like the big bully that just gets away with it. Nobody ever holds them responsible for acting like a big bully. And like, I'm getting old. None of this shit is new. Like, I'm getting old. None of this shit is new. It's time to change. red background. I feel like I maybe gotta lay it down. Let's do the black at the top. Okay. Can I turn this upside down without falling? Or dropping it, or both? Okay, here we go. Take it like this. There we go. Okay. Solid up the black down there. I really feel like I wanted something, I don't know, I feel like it's missing something there, something in the black. Let's check the comments. Children, you protect them, try to teach them something useful. Coercion, usually the opposite, effectively overachieve. Correct, Patty. Armstrong is the main American base in Europe. I've been on Ramstein. I had a job that took me around I think I've been on pretty much every army base in Germany. It's not a flex. I was just trying to make a living. And I had good friends. And I met a lot of really nice retired American soldiers that stayed in Germany. They stayed in Germany because they were happy here. They stayed here because they had kids, and they married a German lady. And living down in Franken, where I lived in the beginning, I met a lot of them, and became really good friends, like brothers. But I also had a job down there where I sold, and the majority of my customers were American soldiers. And the trauma these dudes come back with. Just saying, I have many, many different levels of reasons as to why I am anti-war, anti-military. We need to evolve, right? We need to evolve as humans. If it's not good for the rules of a kindergarten class, why is it okay for a politician? If 2 children start fighting in the kindergarten and we cannot arm them and pick a side, then why can a politician do that when 2 countries start fighting? Time out for every goddamn politician right now. Okay, I'm gonna refill my coffee, take a quick pee break, and when we come back, we're gonna make that black solid down there. Try to keep clean up that red. That wood keeps absorbing that red. Right. I hope everybody's doing good today out there in internet land. Patty says, apart from a few technical gimmicks, humans have hardly evolved in the last 2,000 years. If you look at it globally. Yeah, no, it seems like we've been devolving, right? Getting stupider, we have less knowledge about our environment, our surroundings. more out of shape, more stagnant. I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but conspiracy. I think it's on purpose, you know? And I don't mean to sound like an old person, but I blame social media. Great examples are reels, shorts. They're shortening our attention span. Like scientists have studied this. When your attention span is short, how much, are you really going to dig into news stories and stuff like that? But also with social media, they've cut off and they've effed up relationships. I screamed it for years. I hated Facebook so much. So glad to get off of there. But like I felt like Facebook totally screwed up the definition of what a friend is. And for me, someone that's worked in sales all over the place and is a fairly friendly person, it turned into just a stalking atmosphere. It felt weird. Felt really weird, and you have people that like base their whole lives around it. Did I get enough views? Do I have enough counts? I don't give a shit about that. I really just want to be left alone, honestly. And every once in a while, I pipe off about something. But like, you have people that they don't go out and make friends. They don't go to a park and talk to a stranger. They don't go to a bar or a library and chat someone up. They sit online and they sit at home. But the thing, if you ask them, they'll tell you proudly, I got 500 friends on Facebook. What do you really know about these 500 strangers that you're showing the inside of your living room to? It's weird, bro. But yeah, everybody lives in their phone, And with all of these things that we have going on in actual society, we need to get our faces out of our phones and back into society. We need to know our neighbors. We need to take care of our neighbors, especially if you're in America right now. Like, the biggest form of rebellion against the fascism is doing the social services, where they're dropping the ball, you pick it up. It's what we need to connect with each other and take care of each other. And we're not doing it on the internet. We're not doing it on the social media. We think we are. But it's really a distraction. I really think it's a distraction. I think it can be used as a tool to gather, invite people to actual locations, but for the most part, a lot of people just live there in that world. And social media is its own little world. It's not the real world. It tells us a lot about the real world. But rather than going out and having human conversations and experiencing the real world, there's too many people that are just in the phone. It's not good. With more technology, we actually become dumber. You're right. Patty the fly. Because it's being used all wrong. Technology is being used all wrong. And it's because of these leaders. It's because of imperialism. It's because of money. It's being used for evil. Look, all of the stuff they're saying AI can do, right? This should be a reason that society can rest. This should not be AI creating/stealing art. It should instead provide more time for humans to pursue their creative side, their hobby side, and not have to work so hard because we have the ability. But I mean, that goes along with the other thing, that there is enough housing in the world, there is enough food in the world, and there is enough money in the world. The shit is just not spread out fairly. Now you got wealth hoarders and you got the poors. And the poors are there to keep the middle scared. So they keep working for the wealth hoarders. Wow, I'm yelling. Technology, they need to start using it more for good instead of evil. It won't. I don't know what more people need the vote in socialists leaning people, but you know, historically speaking, every time that shit happens, every time a country tries to go that direction, the capitalists interfere and break them. That's what happens to them. They fail because of, well, usually it's America. Shut it down. That's why I'm watching Burkina Faso very closely right now. Not just because I have a gigantic crush on Capitan Ibrahim Traoré, but that it's very interesting what's going on in Burkina Faso, and I think it's a great hope. It's a hope for what could happen in the very near future in Africa. Like, I think it's beautiful watching them kick out the people that have exploited them and stolen their resources forever, and taking their own power back and taking care of their own people. I think it's beautiful to watch. It's about goddamn time. They're evolving. What about us in the West? Nope, us in the West, we're going to be really busy messing with them. Tell you, if I could move to Burkina Faso right now, I freaking would. Maybe thinking, Armstrong, that's crazy. I'm crazy. Very kind people. I'm really inspired by what they're building there. It's like every week that he gets up and he's building roads, he's building hospitals, he's giving birth to a baby. Every day he's announcing social things. Thousands of social housing. Very inspiring. The kind of stuff we in the West should expect from our governments, you know? They get up in the morning and they try to make the world a better place for the people. People that elect them, people that keep them in power, their fancy houses. All your problems have names and addresses. I don't want to mess up Jesus. Let's move Jesus over here. At least the black is looking decent. That red just feels like I'm going to have to do like a gazillion coats. The black is getting nice and solid. Very happy with it. Yes. More black. Was this the black I was using? Oh, God. What is good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. All right, so I am going to paint this, and then I am going to go and hang out at a bar, which I haven't really done in years, and I'm totally not having any social anxiety about it at all. I am sure it's gonna be great. That's the problem with going out in public. There's always freaking people there, you know? Always. And they're everywhere. Doing stuff. Seeing people. That black? See, now I look at the black up there, and now it looks like it needs another coat. Oh, and the up and down is making me freaking dizzy. Okay, just let it dry. Let it dry. Let it dry. Maybe I'm just not going to get that red green. Maybe what I need to do is a little bit of shadow work. Meaning to break up like the monotonous of this red. Make her shadow, a little bit of his shadow, perhaps. Perhaps. I gotta come in on her closer there. I made. She's a muscular chick, but only in the one bicep, and that's awkward, so. Let's check the chat. Cat says, technology brings the opportunity to learn good information. A lot of trash comes along for the ride. That's true. And that's what goes viral. We love trash, you know? We are just monkeys, really. Mr. Ellerby says, so will you know where you left off? As you know, I came to Germany in 1972. I'm still here after 53 years. Wow, on top of all this, I live in Kaiserslautern. Hey, Theodore, Mr. Ellerby, honestly, it's kind of funny that if we never met. Like, there's honestly a chance we met. I've been to Kaiserslautern quite a few times. I'm familiar with the military base there. I'm pretty sure I was on that military base like once or twice, perhaps. I did a stint where we installed computers in the schools of the children, the American schools on the military bases, and we popped around and installed the computers in the schools. So like that was one instance. I'm pretty sure Kaiserslautern was on that list. I remember going there. That wasn't far from where I used to live, Theodore Ellerby. I lived near Schweinfurt. I'm sure you know Schweinfurt. There's an army base there. But 1972, you've been here that long. Wow. Wow, man. Mr. Ellerby, I'm really curious. Did you ever think of leaving? Because I have those moments. Or are you really content? Did you build for yourself a good little comfy life here? Did you ever? I'm just curious. Somebody that's been here a lot longer than me. If you ever thought about leaving, I'm really just curious about that. I have to admit, as quick as I say that, I know I am living better here than I would be if I was in America. I am thankful for that, nonetheless. I have thoughts of going to Burkina Faso. To get this possible, but unfortunately, only the portion of humanity. Some lack empathy to utilize it in a very human way. That's true. Some are too stupid to understand. Yeah. I can easily integrate AI into my workflow to better organize my thoughts or plans or projects. Jesus, Patty, that sounds like an advertisement. But what Elon Musk is doing with Grok, oh yeah, I saw that. Those narcissist assholes are perverting everything. Yeah, that's what capitalists do. They're perverts. And unfortunately, the stupid ones believe everything an AI says. Yeah. I mean, I feel like when we talk about it that way, you know what it's reminding me of? It's giving the Bible. You know, like the Bible, I feel, in my opinion, please don't get angry at me, but I feel like useful stories, things that may or may not have happened, but the purpose to guide humanity, right? But it's been notoriously corrupted and used by powerful people for them to achieve their goals. Kings, politicians, over and over and over and over again. It's the same thing. So we have AI, it's powerful, could be helpful to society. The people that can make the money off of it want to manipulate it for what they want, not what's good for society. I don't know what we can do to stop that. That's where I ask, where are all the good hackers in the world? Where are you right now? Seriously. Where, I'm definitely not a hacker. I'm lucky if I can fix the tiniest thing on my computer. I'm lucky that I could get this live stream going. But where are they right now when we really need them? Where are the good hackers? Why are they not releasing the Epstein files, showing us all the shady shit going on in the background of our governments, you know? I don't know. Where are the good hackers taking the money out of the banks and just randomly putting it on poor people's bet cards. Where are the good hackers? Where are they? Theodore Ellerby says, hell no, I want to go back. No. Mr. Ellerby, are you saying you want to go back to America? No. No. No, I don't want to believe that. I mean, I had those moments too because I missed people, you know? Mr. Ellerby, you better tell me. Are you saying you want to go back to America? No. Mr. Theodore Ellerby, you cannot go back to America. We need people like you here in Germany. You are exactly what this society needs. I won't let you go. You're kind. You're friendly. You talk to strangers in a kind and friendly way. You're exactly what German society needs. Mr. Ellerby, you cannot go back to America. That better not be what you're saying. You won't have that. We can vote on it. I got 4 whole people watching here right now. I bet they take my side. Oh, he said no. Okay, good. Good. Thank you. Okay, good. I didn't want it to come to threats, Mr. Ellerby, but I like you, so I want to keep you in this country that I'm stuck in. Yeah, I do feel, I talk a lot of shit, but I do feel bad for a lot of people in America. It's like on one side I want to say it's unbelievable what's happening in America right now. But on the other side, it's not unbelievable. They have been on this way for a while. Theodore Ellerby says, I love Germany. There you go. Good. I'm glad you found your spot here, and I'm glad you're happy. Kaiserslautern is nice. It's a nice area. I remember, Franken, I always say that the landscape, lots of castles, the hills. I love driving around down there. Good stuff. Very beautiful area. Okay, red. Big brush, but I gotta try not to be drippy. Being too drippy. Kind of like a shadow effect back here, a little darker at the bottom. Break it up a bit. Coming behind her there. Damn it. But I want to get rid of a part of her arm there. I made it too damn thick. I like my girls with big biceps, but that's a little ridiculous what I did there. Gotta trim that down. I think over here too. That means I'm gonna have to do more coats over it, but we'll get there. Back up. Oh, I wish the up and down didn't make me fucking dizzy. I really wish I could just move as my ADHD wants to move. I don't like you, black spot. You're going to be red. We got a chance of rain over here today, which is probably why my balance feels worse and my head feels funky. Always before a storm, my issues are freaking worse. Let's see what we got here in the comments. Thank you, Theodore Ellerby. I really am happy every time I see you. Both here and on Instagram, Mr. Ellerby. You have really like a super friendly smile. Like some people, I don't know if everybody can do this, but some people I can look at and just think that's a nice person. And you got one of those smiles. You're like the guy someone can feel safe around. And I really appreciate you always leave nice comments. Patty the Fly says, Jesus was surely just as much of an anarcho-hippie as we are. He would be just as pissed off about this crap as we are today. Jesus would be in El Salvador by now. Jesus! Don't you get me started on a religious rant. Don't you get me started. Do you know what he would do to these capitalists? Do you know? This long-haired hippie walked into the temples, grabbed the tables, flipped them over, money flying everywhere. He was so pissed at capitalism. Comrade Jesus. Cat, I don't think he would be in El Salvador. Yeah, no, I think he'd be in Palestine. That's where he'd be. Yep. Sure as hell wouldn't be born in America. Now, the Antichrist, that I would believe would be born in America. Just if we're talking theories here, you know. But I don't think Jesus is going to come back. Jesus, no, God, of all the places in the world, have you seen their Christians? America has the strangest Christians compared to anywhere else in the world. Dead serious. The most cults. But, I mean, dancing with snakes and shit. Oh, my God. The Mormons. Have you read about the Mormons? Oh, my God. I'm sure Jesus looks at America and just shakes his head and is just embarrassed. And at the Trump administration, yeah, absolutely. Brown guy, bad. I mean, they started with the immigrants. They're trying to do a whole full-on citizens now, throwing them out. They've got autistic people on lists, so we're checking all the blocks of things we've seen before in the past. You know, putting the disabled on lists. When you start putting disabled people on government lists, we know what comes after that. There's a school not far from me where it all began. If I get on the highway heading towards Vermont, Schwamtal, it's where they sent disabled kids because they deemed them not worthy. So, yeah, but we're watching America implode into itself. That's what we're doing. But it's nothing new. Remember the cages on the borders holding kids? Still have been. Were built by Democrats, filled by Democrats, and now filled by Republicans. There are no two parties. They're literally the same. They're literally the same. They achieve each other's goals. It's just the matter of the salesperson they use and the fancy sales talk / tricks they use, you know? There are people that the Americans could look to, like Butch Vare and Jill Stein ran last time, Brother Cornel West. They could start looking. There's even a Communist Party. And you know, the thing is, voting is such a mess. People don't trust it. But somehow they still believe this game that can't vote third party, it's a risk of bad man. No matter how many times they see it just ends up bad no matter what. It might be time to try something different. You know, and then again, it's like you don't just consider public education is shit there. I say that as somebody that went to public school in America. Higher education is hard to achieve. So you do that to society, and then on top of that, you make all of their news nationalistic propaganda. Therefore, further undereducating them about what's going on in the rest of the world, the rest of the Western world, for example. But yeah, also keeping them in your grip. And then, you know, then they start picking sides. I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. Instead of their side should be them against this government that would rather spend money on military. 800 billion or 80 billion for the military? And you have that money to throw around to these bases all around the world, but you have 10 cities in every major city. America has ghettos with death rates comparable to third world countries like Sri Lanka. All of these are facts. You can Google them. Pay public servants a minimum wage. Have people fixing our society, ones that understand and care, but understand what it's like to live in this society. But in America, you got people with multiple houses and fancy vacations, and they're the ones making the decisions for Americans working 3 jobs, can't afford to go to a doctor, go into debt just to save their damn lives from health issues. And that's who's making decisions for the average man. It's bullshit. Need more bread. Class war is what I'm saying. I didn't even know that term before I moved to Europe. Thanks, Europe. Thanks for teaching me about class war. But how effed up is that? That I didn't even know that term. And it's like you watch my channels, you see I'm a type of person. I like to go down rabbit holes and investigate things, and then all kinds of weird little fun facts. But I didn't know that one. Didn't know nothing about that. Funny how that was just never accessible information back when I lived there, late 90s, early 2000s. If you asked Armstrong from 2000 or in the late 90s about communism, all I knew about communism was communism bad, America good, America freedom. That was all I knew. They make us stupid over there. It's on purpose because they only want a few in power. And they've achieved that over and over and over again. Got some spots here I gotta clean. Carry a little of that in. Revolution, well, no. People in other countries hear all about events here, but we hear very little about events outside the US. Yep. But you got the internets. Like, time is now. And more, I think because of the internet, we see more and more Americans becoming aware of that. The only reason I became aware of this stuff and thought, hey, moving to Europe sounds like a good idea was because I started talking to people on the internet. Right at the beginning of the internet, late 90s, it started being in everybody's house in America. And it was the most exciting invention in the world to me. I was a small town girl, middle of nowhere. I really wanted to travel, but I knew I probably never would be able to. And part of the reason I wanted to travel is I was really curious about other cultures, other places. And the internet made that possible. And once I started to get to know the people, found out a lot of stuff, and finding out a lot of stuff about how other people live said a lot about where I was. Okay, the owner of the bar has gotten my message. I asked him to please let me know a half hour before he wants to come take this down to the bar so I can get dressed. I'm not going to go to the bar like this. I might throw jeans on. So he'll write me. We'll do that. Here it takes effort to learn the truth if you're willing to do it. Yeah, I know, Kat. I don't know. At least from what I can tell you too, but not since some group of people get to change, set out to change something parallel in your immediate landscape. Let's touch. Or Mint News is also interesting. Mint News, I think, is run by a bunch of anti-war ex-military. It's interesting some of the information they give to the dialogue. But also just smaller YouTubers in general, you know? I mean, obviously there's some fake people, and obviously there's people that get paid to say and do some things when they're online. But, you know, if you're fishing around and you find someone that is just a real person in that place, start following them. And pay attention to what their surroundings look like and what they tell you they're experiencing in their society. And compare that shit to what you hear like in the news. Here on YouTube, I follow a guy that works at like some kind of glass factory thing in Uganda. Every once in a while, he would put on his live stream and just say, "Come, promote yourself," and it kept popping up in my feed. And sometimes he would just sit there and say only a few things. Sometimes he would just show the factory he was working in for whatever reason. But I started following him just because, what the fuck do I know about Uganda? And I can look stuff up online, but you find out the most interesting stuff, and you see like a different perspective when you deal with like the real people there living with it. Same thing with this. I got a guy in China that I watch, a young man. He just talks about his typical life in China, and he seems legit. He's just like some 20-year-old kid. He's got nothing fancy. He's not like some big streamer. Doesn't seem to have an agenda. But again, that's how it started for me. What was I probably in my 20s maybe, and I had ICQ, the messenger list, 100 people, all from all over the world. And you have to really, like, I'm in America. I'm working hard. I'm a single mom, not a lot of help from the government. And it's like one after the other, I'm getting to know people. I had one or two in Sweden too. And they're talking about like, it just starts casually, you know? They're like, "Oh, I'm going on holiday to Italy for 2 weeks." And I'm thinking, as an American girl in a small town, not a lot of money and such, that sounds fancy. And when I would react like that to European friends I was meeting online, telling them the stuff they were doing sounded fancy. I'm going on 2 weeks on a trip to Italy. You know, that's when they would say things like that they had X amount of paid vacation days. That's the first time my American ass is hearing it. And then I don't just hear it from one dude in Sweden. I hear it from two dude in Germany, the guy in Paris, all of them, and not just the paid vacation days. So many things about the healthcare, the social standards. And I'm sitting there like, where am I even living? Why does everybody think this place is so great? Adam Mockler's leave politics, girl. Going. Yeah, I follow one or two little left lefty independent thingers here on YouTube. I really got to tone down how much news I ingest. It has a very negative effect on me. I think, I deal with anxiety and that shit triggers it. I open up Instagram every day just to cry. And I wonder if anybody else does this. Because I'm not lying. Like, every day I open up Instagram. By the time I log off, I am crying. So I have to limit how much news I ingest because I'm trying to heal myself mentally. And if you've ever done that, it's not easy. And wow. At the same time, I'm not going to hide under a rock. It's just shit we gotta keep screaming about until it stops, you know? Balance, Mary Trump. Oh, Mary Trump! I just started following her. I just found her. That's an interesting one. She's like the cousin to Donald Trump or something, right? Yeah. I just found Mary Trump the other day and started following her. I just thought that would be an interesting perspective to have. Somebody that's been around him. Yeah, he's clearly it. Yeah, the thing is, like, I know there's like thousands of Europeans that look at Trump and his shenanigans and they're like, what are the Americans thinking of this clown, right? Americans love a rock star. Americans love the guy up there with all the money and the bitches and the stuff. That's cool. And in their subconscious, he could be me one day if I work hard enough. It's the mentality of many, many people over there. And that's how an ass clown like the great orange fascist comes into power. We have to stop putting people up onto pedestals. And you need to realize how effing ridiculous it is that you will praise somebody that doesn't know what it's like to be hungry, has never risked being homeless. I mean, and much less shows that they have zero empathy. Because they could at any minute, instead of buying themselves that Rolex, or that fancy car, or that second house, they could just go out onto the street. And they could make somebody have a better life and it wouldn't even put a dent into their bank account. But they don't. They don't. They want to go on fancy vacations. They want to show flashy things. And yeah, a lot of American society, they love that shit. We love famous people. And then we see, all kinds of stuff come in about musicians and stuff acting corrupt. This is what happens. You put somebody up on a pedestal, you surround them with yes men, and you praise them for things that have no deserving of praise. And you play a role then in corrupting that person who is probably already corrupt, probably already lacking empathy or something, but you just told him, yeah, his behavior is acceptable and it's cool. We need to stop doing that. I don't understand his draw. Besides, homelessness is more likely than achieving billionaire status. Yes, but not. We Americans, we're dreamers. And it's like we're raised. They tell us that like already in kindergarten. You're in the land of the free. You can grow up to be anything you want. Just don't read the fine details there. That you can grow up to be anything you want. As long as you're white and rich, pretty much. Other than that, you're going to be like a 1%. Like, good morning, Elvis. Good morning, Elvis. 3,000. We're talking politics, Elvis. Not everything is lost. Patty says, not everything is lost. I just wonder when the majority will stand up and start fighting back. This is where Epstein enters the chat, my friend. This is where Epstein enters the chat, but not just. He just cut Medicare. That's going to affect a lot on the right, too. Some of them are already realizing it. I think the majority of them are a little too dumb. It's going to take some while. But what he just did with Medicare is going to take a few months or something to come into effect. So it's not like happening immediately. But yeah, some of them are already realizing that they're not going to be able to go to a doctor. These idiots that backed him but are poor because they think they're capitalists but yet own no capital. But also the Epstein thing. Excuse me. that you got a lot of people that followed the Great Orange Nightmare because they wanted the Epstein files revealed. They wanted to know all of that. And now apparently Ghislaine Maxwell is sitting in jail for transporting girls to nobody. That's what we got now. They're pissed. Yeah, but I'm saying we could use this. This could be a thing. First, the Epstein thing starts to turn them against their great cult leader, right? And then little by little, we watch as one by one can't go to a doctor, can't get their life-saving insulin or treatments. Then you're gonna get a lot of angry in the streets. You're gonna get a lot of angry in the streets, I'm telling you. Oh, it's absolutely a cult. I would argue and say America is a cult, though. The whole nationalism. It's like the last Western country that's so proud to be nationalistic and shit. It's ridiculous. Very cult-like mentality. Number one. There were no Epstein files. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, and I'm saying if we could get the majority to stand up and start fighting back, first, the majority has to unite. And America has invested a lot of time and money in making two sides, and the one hates the other. And this could be the thing that unites them. Poverty smacking them all in the face, them not going to be able to go to a doctor, and yeah, they're realizing, oh shit, he's just like the rest of them. Finally. The rich are taking care of the rich. America is based off of two things: white supremacy and money making. Not taking care of people. White supremacy and a class war. Always has been since the beginning. How many times in the last few weeks I have been screaming, the Constitution was written by genocidal white supremacists. This is exactly what your military is doing right now. I'm not saying every individual soldier, when they take an oath to join the military, that they have that realization. I am not accusing them of that. But this is where I scream, evolve. It's time for us. The information is there. We know who wrote the Declaration of Independence. We know who wrote the Constitution. We know the war crimes they committed. Why are we praising them? Why are we holding their words to be self-evident? Why are we building all of our laws off of papers written by white supremacists? Why are we praising that shit every Thanksgiving, every 4th of July? Natives of that genocide still sit in camps and cages. You're still actively, and have been, both political parties, putting them there, keeping them there for a very long time. And I'm just saying we need to evolve. The information is there. It's time to evolve. Stop with the American cult shit. That America's number one. America's so great. Why would you take the country built on genocide and slavery and make them the beacon of everything and make them the police of the world? Jesus, bizarro land. We live in bizarro land. Right, so there were no Epstein files. I don't know what that lady had on her desk. What's her name? Pam Bondi. Oh, her and that Pam Bondi, and then the who's the one that talks at the Wales press conferences? Oh, I don't like these ladies. Oh, when they start talking. What's that other one's name? What's her damn name? Caroline. Pam Blondie. Caroline. She's a reason for the world. It's a good song. Yeah, so we're living through a nightmare. Living through a night. I really though, I sort of got look at. I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram. I shared 2 posts about it, where America has clearly said to Europe, Den Haag, if you try to hold us responsible for any war crimes we hit, politician, military man alike, we will respond in any way necessary. They're threatening to attack Europe. I did not have on my bingo card that me as an American that left America to move to Germany may have to, in my age of 50 years old and disabled, actually enlist in the military here so I can fight against America when they invade Europe. I never saw that coming, but that might happen. I'm just kidding. I won't join the military, but I will fight them. Pete Kigsbury. Oh yeah, that Pete guy. He's a flat out white supremacist. That's the one with the fucking Crusader tattoo, right? That Pete. That's the drunk guy, right? Yeah. The characters on this season of America. Not gonna lie, highly entertaining. They'll never top the character from that season with Scaramucci, though. That was a character. Who knows what's going to happen in the next episode of America? I'm sure it's not going to be good, and I'm sure it's going to be fascist, right? Funniest thing is these fascist ladies are all totally messed up by plastic surgeries. Of course. You know, no matter how many plastic surgeries you do, we're all just falling apart. Do you know what I mean? Like I thought about that with like I made a reel. I made a thing on Instagram talking about Melania Trump, and I used some photos back when she was an immigrant in America and worked illegally as a model, working illegally as an immigrant, and you could see the big difference. And you see her face now, beautiful face. She has a beautiful face for a wife of a fascist. But I imagine like. What does that look like naked? Do you know what I mean? There's only so much plastic surgery you can do. You're going to have sunspots. You're going to have your skin loses elasticity. Like, so like, I'm just imagining like grandma, right? Face, boobs, 2 round cantaloupes, but belly says, yeah, I'm 80. I think those women are the ones that they have a really hard time with getting older, and it's kind of sad. But I'm not sympathetic to fascists, you know. I think it's funny that they get that surgery and end up looking like clowns. They look older than you in their late 20s. Yeah, I'm 50, and look, I showed you. I still fit in my clothes from when I was 15. I'm not doing so bad. Although the only reason I think that I'm fit at all is because I moved to Europe. If I had stayed in America, I would have been working hard, not having a lot of time off, not eating healthy local food. You know, Germany saved me that way too. Silicone lips. Yo, that Caroline, her upper lip just keeps disappearing. It's the most hilarious Caucasian thing I've ever seen. She had like a lot of white women suffer from this. I think I have a decent upper lip. They move funky because only one half works right, but you know, like I got a little top of a heart there. She got that like extreme Caucasian. There's no upper lip there, but every once in a while she does that thing that a lot of women do, where they draw like a whole new lip outline. And then we all pretend we don't realize that literally looks like a red pencil on your skin above your lip. Not like. No. Some people are very concerned with appearances. You know, When you see somebody that is very, very concerned with their appearances, whether it's in the way of they always have something shiny and flashy on, fancy watch, expensive, fancy, or all the plastic surgery. If they happen to be a bad person, because they're a good person, I don't want you to use this information, okay? But if they happen to be a bad person, and you see that that is where their value is, you know, saddest, I think, when it's a woman, when a woman thinks that her only value is her appearance. It's fucking sad, dude. You have more to offer the world. But what I'm saying, if they're a bad person, you can use that against them. They're literally telling you their weakness, you know? They're literally telling you their weakness, you know? And if you're in like a working situation and that's the narcissist, your boss is one of these super like plastic surgery types, you know, just do little things to F with them, you know? Ask them, is that a crow's foot that you have there? Ask them about their age. Do it in a nice way, but it'll bug them. It'll bug them. I don't care how old I am. I often don't care how I look. I understand there's situations where I have to care. You know, I'm invited to something fancy. I might dress up, make myself look presentable. For the most part, not only do I just not care so much about appearances, as a female who worked in many public jobs, meaning I had to be face to face with lots of the public, what I learned from society is that when I make myself look good, it brings me a lot of problems. Straight up. I can't be the only woman that has had that realization. It brings a lot of problems. If I choose to wear something tight, low cut, there's gonna be dudes that got eyes not looking in my eyes. That feels icky. But even short skirt, tight jeans, there's gonna be some creep that'll make but mostly looks. I don't like being looked at. If you could all just pretend I don't really exist, that would be great. But yeah, for me personally, like when I was a teenager, I was very much into punk rock, New York City hardcore scene. And that's definitely not about putting on makeup and doing my hair and having heels and a purse every day. So, you know, before that, I grew up poor, a lot of secondhand clothing and shops and stuff like that, which I think guided me into the whole punk thing. And I think also because I'm an artist, I embraced being unique, like finding my own look, you know. But had a kid, had to get a real job, became a secretary, car dealership. Secretaries, they dress generally nice. I went to the thrift shop. I bought myself little skirts, pantyhose, and little jackets and stuff. And I started putting makeup on and actually brushing my hair. Ugh, so much work. And I realized how beneficial it was in sales. In fact, I found it ridiculous how, I'll flat out say it, how easier it was to manipulate a customer if I looked pretty. It's an evil thing to learn and realize, but it's literally what we do in sales, really. So that was really, I was already in my 20s before, for the first time where I started like do the hair, put makeup on, dress in like a skirt or dress, like what most of society would describe as feminine. And I was doing it as a costume for a job because it was appropriate for the situation. It wasn't my look. I didn't like it. But, you know, I got why some women did it. You know, in the beginning, the attention, it can be nice. But for me personally, the attention turns creepy real freaking quick. It turns creepy. If you're an attractive woman, there's always a creep staring at you. Even if you're not an attractive woman, the creep is always there. Yeah, so I used it as a tool in a job. But in my free time, oh God, when I think back to like when I used to go to bars or concerts, I'm talking not working at them when I was a roadie. I'm talking in my free time. Honestly, the vibe I got as a female on my own was this just brings me trouble. It just brings me trouble if I dress pretty. Apart from the fact that this self-painting is not our taste, I don't like it anyway. I don't understand this sexuality. Yeah, no, I mean, I think we humans, just my opinion, we have to learn to be comfortable with ourselves. I was definitely not always comfortable with myself, and I'm still not often comfortable with myself, my body, who I am. But you have to accept who you are. And you have to accept things like the body you got and that you're going to age. We're all just falling apart. We're all just decomposing. It's, and accept it. I feel like embrace it is a little strong. Oh, that goddamn black. Every time I move it and I look and I see more. Yeah, when I run into those type of girls where they're like, you can see their bag and their shoes are important. You can see the name brands on their stuff is important. You can see they put lots of hours into their hair, their nails and stuff. I like immediately know they're not gonna like me. And I don't belong here. I'll try to be nice. I think they look at me like I'm a clown or broken. I'm a little of both. Yeah, if I heard anything that my psychotherapist has told me, it's that we have to learn to love ourselves. You have to learn to accept you. And like becoming disabled, that was an important thing I had to learn. I didn't want to learn. I had to learn to accept what is the new me in my new life. I'm still working on getting a grip on that, But it is something we should all work on. The thing is that some people just don't want to work on themselves. That's a very big problem, I think, in society. I think the sickest people are the ones that think they don't need psychotherapy. They're usually the ones with the biggest problems, in my opinion. Yeah, we brought that arm in. Love yourself. Look at me being positive. I have to not make her sexy. I always want to make girls sexy. I want to make the nipple pop. This is for a family-friendly bar. Oh, it's getting warm here. I thought today was going to be cooler. Hate boobs. Apart from the fact that something is my taste, I don't like it anyway. Makeup was never really my thing. I don't understand it. I think mostly because I'm not doing it right and nobody ever showed me how to do it right. But like I did it for work and maybe once in a while going out, but like I smoke and I drank. I don't really drink anymore, but you put lipstick on. How do women put lipstick on and have lipstick on all night? Because I would put it on and in 20 minutes it was gone, or it was on my hand, or it was all over the place. And the same for like eyeliner. I like to put eyeliner on. Now that I'm getting older, I got to fill in the eyebrows. Little eyebrow pencil if I'm going out in public, maybe. But even that, like I'll come home with raccoon eyes. I don't know how women put the makeup on and it stays perfect all day. I guess I don't know. And I guess I never cared enough to look into it. And it doesn't look comfortable. Like I think only very few times I put on like what's it called, concealer. Like some women put like a full foundation, like that skin colored crap. I put that on when I was younger because I just thought that's what I was supposed to do. And it feels like clown makeup. Like you're literally. It feels. I don't like that. I didn't like that. But I guess to each his own, right? To each his own. As an artist, like I said, I like to put a little eyeliner on. It's about accent and details. I guess if it makes you feel good. I think some women it makes them feel confident, I'm just saying for me personally, it brings a lot of trouble. And not worth the effort. It's really just not worth the effort. Too much work. I am what I am. Some dudes like that shit though. Some dudes are really into chicks with too much makeup and big fake booties and boobies. We went from talking about politics to plastic surgery. I call that the Donald Trump effect. What's with that orange skin? Like, how does he even think that's still a good look? Patty says, I feel the same way about my long hair. I've had since I was 15. Every few years it's in, but normally I'm considered antisocial. Yeah, fuck what other people think, Patty. The important thing is that you like your hair. The important thing is you like it, Shit, it's already noon. I have no idea what time that guy wants to go to the bar. Hopefully he didn't write yet. Okay, he didn't write yet. I have no idea what time he's going. I still can't get a straight answer as to what the opening times are. I am though. I'm nervous, but I'm also excited about August 30th and doing like a little meetup. Like I've gone public now. You're all invited. It's a good test for my social anxiety. The whole thing is going to a bar, talking to strangers again. But I think it's going to be interesting. I know I've gotten decent feedback from quite a few people. Like, I mean, close to me, you know, friends, family, even people that were customers at that last job that I worked at. They're going to come to my art show. That touches my heart a little. That's sweet. I love that every sales job I ever had, I always took customers with me. I always took customers with me when I left. Always. Mine. I found them. When I go, they go with me. I will interest them in whatever next product I end up selling. Oh, there's a spot right there, and it's a texture in the wood. This is why I want a sign or something there. This is naked right there. It needs something right there. I think him and I talked about the option of a dartboard, but I can't remember if I got a straight answer from him. I can always add it a little bit later. That's I didn't care, and I considered it probably more of a good idea. Yeah, right on. Good on you, Patty. Let me know. Come over. It's not that far away. Patty, you better come. Cool. Listen, easy to get to from the train station. So if you're going to come by train, you take the train to Mönchengladbach. Hauptbahnhof. Don't be confused. Mönchengladbach is a very fancy town that has a rare feature of 2 main train stations. That's right. The Hauptbahnhof and Ride. Don't go to Ride. You'll think you're in Eastern Europe. So go to the Mönchengladbach Hauptbahnhof by train, right? You're going to come down the steps off of your Gleis, huh? You have an option to go left or right. When you come out of one side of the train station, you're going to see it's a lot of construction, but where the buses generally come. The other side of the train station, when you come out, there's a supermarket, Rewe, and like a skate park built there. You don't want to go out that side. You want to go out the side where the buses are. And then it's only a few stops away. I've walked it. I've walked the distance from this bar to the Mönchengladbach Hauptbahnhof. I'm disabled and I take breaks, and I was able to do that walk in about 20 minutes if you're advantageous. Otherwise, at the train station, you'll have a choice of like 3 buses that'll take you to Hermges. You literally want to go to the bus stop, Hermges, Hermges, just like the name of this bar is Hermges Treff. And when you're at that Hermges bus stop, if you're standing at that bus stop with the bus stop behind you, you look up to your left, you'll see between 2 kiosks this bar. Hofstraße 5, I think, is the address. So it's easy to get to. If you come with car, you're going to want to go like to the street behind the bar. There's lots of parking near where the train tracks run. That's a tip if anybody would come with car. It's on Google Maps, so it's easy to find. And yeah, so the deal is my art's going to be hanging. I'm going to take my art down there at the end of July. And so for all of August, I'm going to probably have about 5 pieces hanging there. He's given me a wall. I'm toying with the idea of hiding some in other places of the bar. But so for like all of August, and you can pop in at any time, get yourself a drink, a cola or a beer, look at the art. I'm going to leave a guest book. Guestbook. And I expect anybody that stops in when I'm not there, they sign my guest book. I'd like to make a video reading the entries. So if you don't want your name said, use a fake name. And August 30th is the meetup. Last day of the month. I think it's a Saturday. And again, with my health issues and shit, my plan is 1,800 to 2,100-ish. I find generally after like 3 hours, I'm done. Dizzy, I'm tired, my head, the sounds, the tinnitus, everything becomes too much. So I'll arrive on the 30th around 1,800, and then want to meet up, have a chat, look at the art, take a piece of art home. I'm also toying with the idea of giving a piece of art away, maybe, piece or two, maybe. Still working on all these ideas, but I want to just clearly repeat my goal of this art show is not to sell anything. This is not me pressuring, come and buy my art. That's not what I'm doing here. Just showing my art. I'm doing something with my art by showing it, doing an art show, inviting the general public to take a look-see, and just know I'm here. And maybe in the future that could lead to something. But it all starts with my first art show. And that's what I'm doing. So pretty much I just really appreciate anybody that can come and just support me. Say, hey, I was here, I took a look. It'd be double great if you make sure you buy a drink just to support the location. The drinks are so cheap. His menu, I still can't believe how cheap his stuff is. Yeah, dartboard, because he's the reason I'm painting the pool table is this picture will be viewable from the street, letting the people know you can come play pool here. I think a dartboard, he has a dartboard too. Right there would look great, right? I think it would look great. Damn it. Oof. I'm hot. I'm dizzy. Talking too much. But I'm happy with what we got here. Important will be that the guy at the bar is happy with it. I think some of these weird marks are just gonna have to stay. They're textures in the wood. I've learned for the next time I should have laid some kind of clean coat. Damn it. Where's the coffee? It's always the question. You wouldn't believe how many times I run around this apartment trying to figure out where the hell I set my coffee down. I think we're getting close to where I'm going to call it a day here. And I'll probably paint for about another 10, 15 minutes. Thank you, T-Cat. Yeah, I imagine if you're in America, it's kind of it's quite the distance to come to my art show. But I appreciate the support regardless. I want to make some video. I'll upload something on YouTube. The guy, unfortunately, last I checked, doesn't have Wi-Fi at the location. I was kind of hoping I could live stream from there. And my cell phone, I use a cheap deal from Aldi's. So I don't think I have the money to live stream. Let me do some accents on her face. Yes, pink. Must not make her too sexy. But she's kind of sexy. No, she's cute. I think she's kind of cute. That's like what I was going for. Like a little, like 1950s cutesy kind of. Yeah. I like her. Come on, White. I know you still got something in you. Spit it out. She's giving him the old side eye. She's still giving him the side eye. I'll watch whatever you. Thank you, T-Cat. It's very nice. It says, I have the Deutschland ticket. I'm coming by train. Nice, Patty. Cool. Looking forward to meeting you, man. Nice. Just trying to bring out some of the details. Yeah. Some white things. White in there. Blended. Yeah, she's cute. I wonder if their name's Veronica, but she's gonna be in a German bar. I feel like I should give her a German name. She feels like Veronica to me. Knuckles. Gotta give her good knuckles. In case he cheats, you know? Knuckles. see. I used to hate painting hands. I hated it. And I'm getting better every time I do it. Everything in painting that I found really difficult, it was like I saw some tutorial that said that's exactly what you need to concentrate on. So I started painting hands. I'm still not great at it, you know, but it's pretty exciting to see my process evolve. Like I used to do everything I could when painting a human to avoid doing the hands, you know, put them in pockets, put their hands behind them, have, you know. Now I enjoy the challenge now. They're tricky. That's a hand. I'm happy that I'm getting better and better at it. For many years I was painting, I was just doing. And it's only like the last few years like I actually started watching tutorials. Friends got me some art books and I started learning stuff that people learn when they go to art school. But in the past I never liked being told what to do. That wasn't what art was about to me. This is always something for me. Made me feel good, kind of an outlet. Also, I always had a really fantastic imagination. I can get lost in it and I'm imagining a whole story and I enjoy trying to make the puzzle pieces fit. I hated it when someone would be like, here's an apple, paint this. I hated that. But it became a really good lesson I had to start doing to get better at the things I wasn't so good at. Yeah, she's cute. Yeah. I like her. Got a little crush on her. Clean up that shirt. She's a little cutesy. Oh, damn it, I put that in the wrong. Check the phone, don't want to miss this guy. Remember, this dude's supposed to write. Okay, maybe I'll be lucky and he won't be going until later. But I feel confident enough to show it to him, you know? When you're painting something for somebody else, it's always like when you're gonna show it to them. I think I like it. Patty says, in my artwork, I can also distance myself from stupid perfectionism from the world of work. Yeah. When you're just painting for you, it's just enjoyable. It's when other people come in and go, that nose looks a little big. It's like, ah! That might be a deep down reason why I don't like people looking at my art. I don't want the critic. But I guess if I'm gonna do it for other people, I have to take their feelings into consideration because I'm not a sociopath. Yeah, but I hate it. Like I keep telling people that I enjoy this. I do this because I enjoy this. This is not work. I need a lighter blue. few more details on her jeans. I'll go back to that shirt. Take a light blue. So we got some belt loops here, right? Details, folks. She's got them. Jeans, light blue, pockets, yes, jeans. Come in wet with some light blue, not with that brush. I need brushes. Damn it. All right, let's see what this looks like. Clean this up a little. Yeah, get that wet. Blue jean baby. Is that Elton John song? Can't remember how it goes. Bigger brush. Bigger brush. Get some lighter blue. You can't see it from there, but I even put little yellow stitching on the bottom seams of her jeans. Pretty proud of that. I know you're impressed. It always looks so nice when it's wet. and then it dries. And I go, I gotta do another coat. Carry that up. Oh, I feel my belly telling me I gotta eat something. I gotta stop soon. Oh, I love her though. I love her. I'm happy with her. I need to stop, but I need to do something. Because I see it. I want to clean this up a little, and I gotta clean the green up, and I gotta clean him up. Okay, you're empty. I need to chuck you. I need. Yeah, good. I need a brown, and I need a yellow. Not that yellow though. I need. What does it call it? Ochre. I need like an ochre. And I got black, right? I got black. Just clean up the pool table a little bit. Let's see, I'm gonna take this, this. I can't remember what this little thing is, but I remember looking at his pool table and there was a little thing here. It's like, is it maybe where they keep the chalk? The little storage area? I know there was a little rectangle right there. Let's just do it black. Okay, there. Shading on those wood boards. Clean up her foot a little bit. Full stick is go. Some dark shading on it here. Let's go over the black. It really dries quick. It just gets sucked right into the wood, but also it's warm here. I want it kind of wet so I can smear it. I'm going to cut out some yellow, brown. Is the only way I can whistle now since my lips don't work right. Patty says this has completely liberated me in the last year. Thank goodness Borussia is playing in Stuttgart on August 30th. I won't run into any football fans. Oh my God, that's a really good point. I didn't even think to look if there was a foosball spiel. Fuck. Yeah, because that is a nightmare trying to travel with public transportation when the soccer apes are running around. They are the worst. When there's a game here and you arrive at the train station, it's my worst nightmare. It's full of all these loud, drunk, obnoxious people. You come out the train station, they're peeing everywhere, and just cops. Rows of cops, buses of cops. It's not a good feeling, not a good vibe. I hate foosball. Yeah, I don't know, Patty. You're on your own with that. I don't have a clue as to like what time they're traveling and stuff. But if they're coming back from a game, they'll be so sloppy. They'll just be passing out. I feel like they're more hyped up on their way there. I'm trying to get this straight here. That was too much. That was all too much, so we're going to take a wet brush. Perfect. That's what I want. Yellow. It was all yellow. Look at the painting. Look what I paint for you. I even used some blue. But now I'm gonna go yellow. the brown. Need the brown down here. So I can make it clear where the top of the pool table is. Joe. That's looking a bit like a pool table, right? Right? Right, folks? Please say yes. Yes, Armstrong. That looks like a pool table. You do not need to be worried. Right? Oh, this, I can cough. Gotta go over that green again. Like a little bit brown, a little bit black. Like green. We gotta go green. Ugh. I know I said I was gonna stop in like 15 minutes. I think I said that about 20 minutes ago. Got 6 likes on this live stream. Thank you very much, folks. Appreciate that. Let's clean up the green. I'll show you what I mean. But I'm gonna need some yellow. So I got this darker green, but I also want an obnoxious light green. It doesn't want to come out of the tube. Booger. Oh, god damn it, really? There we go. That was a little too much. But let's clean up the green. I wish it didn't dry so quick. Damn it. Oh. Green, green, green. But also, it's a light green. There's a class of school kids walking past my place. Yesterday, the class of school kids walked past my place, and I have sunflowers growing out there. A bunch of them freaked out because there's little bumblebees hanging on my sunflowers. I thought it was cute. He's so simplistic, but I like him. He's a background character anyway. Water. Go, buddy. I have a zit forming right in the middle of my chin. I am 50 freaking years old. Why do I have a zit forming right in the middle of my chin? Damn it. Patty, I am looking forward to it. It'll be cool. It'll be interesting to see who shows up. I'm excited. And I think it'll be fun. Like I said, the place is a nice, simple little Eckkneipe, weißt du? And the experiences I've had up to now with the people that are like regularly there drinking, they seem cool. They seem decent. Seems like a nice laid back atmosphere. Nothing spectacular. Prices are totally affordable. Should be good. Thing is, if you let me, I'll never stop. Bye, T-Cat. I hope I didn't miss you, but thanks for being here. I got good viewers. Y'all are so nice. Hopefully no scary, creepy stalker type show up. At the, but I mean, I guess the world would be boring without those types. at it again with the red. Now it's a half an hour after I said I wanted to stop in 15 minutes. Damn it. I like her. Ugh. All right. Okay, I'm just going to use the last colors here on my palette, and then I'm calling it a day. like. Oh yeah, I like those jeans. Like. Like. Like I said, just using the colors left on my palette now. I'm gonna get out of here. No giggling. Ooh, we got some white. Let's put some blue in her hair. All right, that's it. I need a break. Somebody wrote. Oh shit. Du, ich habe das jetzt gerade gesehen. Ich mache jetzt Schluss online. Ich ziehe mich um. Ich pack mein Zeug. Ich melde mich gleich. Shit. Okay. So I gotta get going. I appreciate everybody that was here, especially Cat T, Patty the Fly, Theodore Ellaby. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for everybody that clicked like. And yeah, we're gonna see each other a lot. I got a lot of stuff to paint till this month is over. So I will see you all soon. Ich wünsche dir auch einen wunderschönen Tag. Ja, diese Wetter ist total in Ordnung heute, ne? Du auch. Ja, bis bald. We'll see each other soon. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.